Man United are planning to make landscape changes to their squad this summer, and the midfield is going to require its fair share of maintenance. Manchester United are now just a week away from the start of the summer transfer window. This summer is poised to mark one of the most important windows the club has faced in recent years. Following the arrival of the Ineos Group, a raft of changes are expected to take place in preparation for the 2024-25 campaign. After making long overdue changes in the boardroom, United now need to start making them on the pitch. The Reds released their retained list earlier this week, confirming a handful of exits, including those of Raphael Varane and Anthony Martial. Further departures are expected over the coming weeks, so much so they could run into double figures. United need to raise funds through player sales to remain within the boundaries of the Premier League's Profit and Sustainability Rules, PSR. Each area of the squad is expected to come under the microscope, including the midfield department. It is highly likely there will be a hive of transfer activity within the engine room, and Men's Sport has taken a close look at how many deals may need to be completed to rebuild that part of the squad. With no midfielders out of contract at Old Trafford this summer, United's hopes of clearing the decks in that area rest on sales and loans. The Reds need to raise funds this summer and have midfielders within their ranks who should command respectable fees. Casemiro, despite being outstanding in his maiden season at the club, regressed at an alarming rate in 2023-24 and needs moving on. Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr have been credited with interested and are reportedly weighing up a lucrative offer. Scott McTominay is another sellable asset. He scored 10 goals in the most recent campaign, and that will have driven his valuation north, meaning interest should not be in short supply. As valuable as his goals were, United need to get money in the coffers, and every penny raised from selling him would count as pure profit because of his status as an academy graduate. Christian Eriksen also needs moving on ahead of the final 12 months of his deal. A smooth operator for the most part of his Old Trafford career, United need to add fresh legs to the engine room, and offloading him would make way for that. Elsewhere, returning loanees Donny van de Beek and Hannibal Mejbri are surplus to requirements. Eintracht Frankfurt and Sevilla respectively had options to sign them on permanent deals, but neither did enough to convince their respective loan clubs to make a move. Starting with the defensive side of the midfield operation, Casemiro's anticipated exit would leave United without a recognised defensive midfielder. Sofian Amrabat, unless the club chooses to sign him permanently, will return to Fiorentina, leaving the Reds with a vacant hole to fill at the base of the engine room. The importance of having two players in each position cannot be understated, meaning one defensive midfield import would not be enough. United have been heavily linked with Benfica's Joao Neves and are understood to have been monitoring Everton ace Amadou Onana. As far as the box-to-box and number 8 roles are concerned, United have a guaranteed starter in Kobbie Mainoo, plus Mason Mount, who will be desperate to make up for lost time following an injury-hit debut season in M16. Provided United stick with a 4-3-3 system, Mainoo is likely to be joined in the engine room by a new defensive midfielder and Bruno Fernandes, with each member of that trio bring different qualities to complete a balanced system. Nevertheless, having just two number 8s on board risks leaving United short in case of injuries. They have been linked with a cluster of players who could strengthen that department, including AS Monaco's Youssouf Fofana, who could be available at a reduced price because of his contract status. As for the attacking midfield role, Fernandes should be retained at all costs and continue as architect-in-chief. But United lack cover in that role. Funds will dictate how much wiggle room the Reds have to strengthen that area further, plus Mount is capable of pushing up and playing as a number 10. The addition of a backup attacking midfielder, however, would not be frowned upon. If United offloaded 5 midfielders and drafted in 4 to improve the overall level of quality and balance, they would be well set. The biggest key to rebuilding their midfield is buying players with room for growth and development. United started the process of lowering the average age of their midfield last summer by signing Mount, but they need to go a couple of steps further this time around. They need someone who could become a long-term lieutenant for Mainoo. United's new-look midfield after 9 deals.